Out of Western Shabium, into Mampeni Mahama Mani speech during the State of the Nation address, o make here a point say, Nabaimba power, they've employed over 1 million people. Nasa 1 million people statement where Mampeni Mahama make here no. Justifications about bonting and yeah. Fellas of Osuku Achebe din komo sounds na kojo upon kroma ba counter situation chechim say no cre settings na so Mampeni Mahama say ojini hu dipa say ampome create 1 million jobs he should go and stand in the middle of a market and aso nkojom no ngoka so create 1 million jobs in share say Ghana for betria mana out of easy ye ba be konkomo nim na during that same State of the Nation address Mampeni Mahama say when it comes to oral Ghana phone come akuma nto omoyem because obi bia was on munchini bia no they will make sure say they arrest that person. Na nsem Mampeni Mahama kin. Say bet you bia why is it still delaying? Minti nyama bia say. Na me no ba be ko just ni mo. Answer be ko yen nsem make so you new viewer now subscribe to your channel we are. May just be subscribe like it. Charge your comments ni mo. Share video no na ma foforo into me and share. So without much delay yen ko yen updates ni mo. It is say ko yen updates ni mo during the State of the Nation address no. President Mahama speech no kasafa the fight of Galamsey ho. O kasafa the fight of Galamsey no shift attention kakra de call oral. Chim say oral to me recover over 600 million. Now this 600 million out of yentie and common Mampeni Mahama die. Yeba and common dear to us in ano yedwemamu.
Strengthen collaboration among law enforcement agencies, financial intelligence institutions and prosecutors. These efforts have led to initiation of criminal proceedings and asset forfeiture proceedings against some individuals and entities implicated in financial crimes against the state. But yes, I agree with the sentiments of Ghanaians that we must press harder on this accelerator. As of December 2025, Ioko has recovered more than 600 million Ghana cedis. The office has investigated 462 cases, with 15 currently under prosecution. It has dismantled transnational car-jacking syndicates and has recovered 29 luxury vehicles that were stolen. Mr. Speaker, the government remains resolute that corruption will not be tolerated, regardless of status or political affiliation. The Attorney General's office will continue to use both criminal prosecution and non-conviction-based assets recovery mechanisms to ensure that stolen public resources are returned for national development. Mr. Speaker, I understand that a large majority of Ghanaians are impatient to see those who abuse their public trust in office held to account. Mr. Speaker, there were periods when, under military regimes and unconstitutional governments, extrajudicial means could be used to exact retribution against persons perceived as corrupt or who had abused the mandate given to them by the people. Mr. Speaker, this may have appeared as swift justice, but many regrettable excesses were recorded. In 1992, we overwhelmingly adopted the 1992 Constitution to accept governance by the rule of law. On 7th January, when I swore the oath of office before the people of Ghana, I swore to uphold the 1992 Constitution. I may be as impatient as everyone else to see justice done, but painstaking investigations must be conducted. Dockets must be prepared, charges must be filed, and the accused must have their day in court, including appealing, even on the smallest point of law, to higher courts. This process is necessary to protect us all against abuse or ill treatment of citizens, and to ensure that only those guilty of offenses against the state are punished. As President Mills of blessed memory said, he said, and I quote, "The wheels of justice grind slowly, but they grind exceedingly fine." Mr. Speaker, let me reassert my determination to uphold the accountability of public office holders to the people of Ghana. We have laid the Public Officers Code of Conduct Bill before Parliament. This bill codifies the conduct of public officers and makes breaches thereof punishable. I wish at this juncture to thank His Lordship, the Chief Justice, for establishing additional specialized high courts to address breaches identified in the Auditor General's report. Mr. Speaker, the Constitution review process was conducted in a transparent and consultative manner, drawing on input from constitutional experts, civil society organizations, traditional authorities, religious leaders, political parties, and the general public. The review committee has submitted its comprehensive report containing detailed proposals to amend the Constitution to address identified weaknesses and make it more welfare enhancing. Mr. Speaker, the Attorney General's Office is working closely with relevant stakeholders to translate the recommendations into implementable legal and constitutional proposals, which will be presented to this August House in accordance with constitutional procedures. Mr. Speaker, illegal mining continues to pose a grave threat to our environment, water bodies, public health, and national security. Mr. Speaker, prosecution of persons engaged in illegal mining has been intensified, with a renewed focus on dismantling organized criminal networks behind Galamsey operations, rather than targeting only the little fish, low-level offenders. Mr. Speaker, in all these Galamsey operations, there are big fish who never get caught. Mr. Speaker, in total, over 114 case dockets involving hundreds of accused persons are pending in various courts across the country, particularly in towns and villages that are prone to illegal mining. Specialized prosecutorial teams have been deployed to fast-track illegal mining cases, ensure the effective presentation of evidence, and pursue the confiscation and forfeiture of equipment and proceeds used in or derived from illegal mining.
In terms of what's the president, President Mahama, edited during the State of the Nation address. Now, when it comes to the oral, I think yes, they are doing well, but we want to see the results. Almost they should arrest them. But we are waiting. You see, 2 years now, almost 2 years now. Cool. So when are they waiting? What's the exact date or more change before they will prosecute people and jail them? That's the day I share, because Ghanaians need a result. Ghanaians voted for the NDC because of oral. Until the oral result must show, must pop up. A woman said, but we are not seeing anything. The 600 million, yes, a woman State of the Nation address now. Or they better one, we don't know. Now, if we're not done, okasa for Galamsey fight. Now, Galamsey fight into quite idea. Look here, I think those in charge of this Galamsey, 9 months, no more Mogeka Hono, they are lying to the president. Joy News did series of updates talking about Galamsey. We cried there no more Kase Galamsey scandal under the NDC. Said the fight of Galamsey and Kobe Bia. I saw a video from Joy News. Omu Frobi and an any pane him say Ube isu chamfine no say 60,000 no say 6,000. They should come and pay that money. Inti President Mahama, when it comes to the fight of Galamsey, personally Mihuni says still now there are a lot of problems within it. They are not working anything on Galamsey. Ebi muche di wechre. Ebia for evidence sake no mode kakre bi baba betre on social media also. And as somebody bi baba betre as evidence. Low key the Galamsey is still going on. Now for ye they no to nchen yeah buy into the 1 million jobs as some man Penny Mahama kan no during his the speech, you know, say or make create 1 million jobs. In fact, for 1 million a year jumaye. Now this 1 million statement no fairly so for sukwache ekasaye with Obi Ewasempa FM. Now say and fellas for sukwache edi in nkomo. Yenti no famra.
The message on the State of the Nation at Tuja. From where you stand, sir, Mekasa describe a statement no in one word. I then Abeka.
Oh, like I say, no credit to end of the Atuga.
That's it. You Abeka will move beyond no credit to.
Sabe penalty.
On that foundation, no, my Musa, this very first question. When you scan through social media, I'm for a voice, and I'm for government statistician voice. Say, ono ka say first quarter, third quarter of 2025, nipa over 1 million in a year, Juma ye. Government statistician within that same period, they can say 300,000 plus in a year, Juma. How do you reconcile our two positions, no?
So that's it. There's data that the government statistician itself provides. The friend saying, unemployment rate as of 2024. No, mama, unemployment rate as of 2025. OSHA, there's almost a 1 percentage point decrease. And mama, quarterly job creation figure. OSHA last quarter of and first quarter of and after the last quarter of 2024. You are talking about close to 13 and 14.6 million people are need. Over third quarter of 2025, you are talking close to 12.8 need. So it is quite clear. So the figures are, I have the figures in front of me. Maybe I mentioned. So the president can hear me.
Yeah, I get data now, one man, but specifically on new jobs are no man penny say abba in the first and the third quarter or no editor 1 million plus. Government statisticians say 300,000 plus. Say, how do you explain that disparity? No?
Well, men say government statisticians as a worker. I can only speak to the data as we have it. That is what I was looking to.
And data neka say first and third quarter ne juma 1 million e buy.
For instance, labor force nipa na ewe juma as of 2024. Quarter 1 to quarter 4. As of the fourth quarter, now omoye analysis na in 14.2 million. That was the labor force.
Okay.
As of third quarter of 2025, now you're 15.3 million. In fact, difference me 1.2 million. So it's in the winner bill, data and Abraham wash. Yes. So I don't know the context within which the government statistician was speaking. Maintaining that, so I'm not able to put it in context. But I'm speaking to you on the basis of data on why I provided that the amount. And I'll repeat the figures again. As of quarter 4, labor force, quarter 4, 14.2 million. That was the labor force. It's a nipa na a year tomorrow. And then by third quarter of 2025, now a year 50.3 million. That's a difference of 1.2 million. He also go ahead to speak about the unemployment rate. As of fourth quarter of 2024, now 13.6%. In the election year, now we used to highlight the unemployment rate.
Yes.
Now estimating at 14%. It was based on Ghana's before data. So from 13.6% as of the fourth quarter of 2024, and then 12.8%, at least as of the third quarter of 2025. Fourth quarter figures are yet to come. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And on that basis, Norman Penny, a card your card.
Exactly. The Norman Penny speaks only to the data. In fact, they even talk about the number of people employed in various sectors. In fact, also as we say, as of fourth quarter of 2024, then it passed 4.8 million. And industry had 2.1 million. And our services 5.5 million. The over the year 2025, as of fourth quarter, from 4.8 million, a year Juma, was the quarter 5 million. As of third quarter of 2025, and then mine as the quarter 2.5 million. Then a year Juma in industry.
In that of what's out in some fellows of Sukachi Dibetu Jana, it is what it is. Na sansem weni na asana nkomoni kosuni nano na kojo opon kruma ono suti na kojo opon kruma ba be set record ni straight chim say ensemo mampeni Mahama we kan ni na settings especially when it comes to the 1 million jobs. Or say nkrofo no mu push information in my President Mahama no. Ombe so mo nchen so me create 1 million jobs benye no kre. And out of war, enye kojo upon krumankwa na eka. Oko check Ghana labor force. And I we near Ghana labor force. Or a year report or the barbontia. Na say over 330,000 jobs and no to me crazy. To which means say hano na nko mo ye de adwuma di President Mahama. Na we de yenti kojo upon kruma. Yenti nsɛmɔde tuda. Na ye ba ye betie Ghana labor force almost reporter omo de ababontin.
Message on the state of the nation, no. So I will describe a message in one word. I bet
settings.
Message in your settings.
Settings in kwa.
Hey, message in your settings.
No, Obi. It is a tries or better difference between labor force. No, I'm penny nipa in any juma in the last 1 year.
Also more than 1 million in the first and the third quarters of 2025.
Okay, two there.
Yes.
Bill phone lines.
Okay.
Nakase omo emenye juma no mo friend no mo kancho.
No, that's it. So you want to be some kaso obi enye juma kra.
1 million. What a film with a friend is Scarface? What that?
Scarface. I've me who posted about me share. I've seen Scarface and
Scarface. Yes. One of the first scenes. As someone opening the kitchen and above and say, never sniff your own cook. Wow, what idea no? Men numbi that.
Men numbi.
And you see, the point is that Abino now they are believing their own propaganda.
Because unim say
public na no
yeah, because unim say me busa Felix say sa 1 million jobs, no. Me contrast here no with what the your friend is saying. Government statistician eka within the same period, no say a little over 300,000 jobs and abe ade on. But Felix said omo the data omo AU no the labor force statistics Ghana Statistical Service na the buy and omo labor force na.
Oh say obre.
Oh, that be your kind of make catch oh. Yeah, or see a labor force there no more.
Uri jai brofonika koja kwa me nkoma second na kasa asemu bu ankofo be bu kra nye bini.
What dey?
1 million.
Also labor force number now. I'm moving from 14 million to 15 million by the end of 2025.
Pachote minka.
Meteon kapa.
Mesi koja kwa me nkoma second na fa megaphone na kasa asemu bu ankofo be bu kra nye bini. It is not the lived experience of the people. And how Pakuja Bank Manaka says, we buanko be book ranyibini. And how could you tamale overpass, no interchange na o mampeni akuvadu and could not say an akasa assembly. Confo boy be book ranyibini. Say 1 million.
Yeah, also 1 million, yes. In fact, more than 1 million. In 2 quarters. First quarter and third quarter 2025.
That's it.
Unyini.
And yes, I mean, Missouri Opa could just come and come and second Nakasa Asibuero. And Nurana may a video from Mokola Market.
Yes.
NDC 4 Moto Abama NDC are buying. Oh, Mokola Market. Could you Nakasa Asimuitro? Bombe book Ranyibin. Eh, Obi.
Yes.
Mr. Abino, Ombaino. Omaye 1 year and 2 months.
Yes.
They still have an opportunity to say propaganda and settings no be jai. No see formatty the uncle for can respond to. Obi yen wa bem for 8 years o. Eto be a oti wona government statistician the data be a bro. Now why you wanna woka. Usi forman na don se uncle for better said they are more can and say to the highest degree. Me my information minister that was. It made the brief bro but not 2 hours. Ube see form no be nya okra bo be bu okra nye bini. Me yem min town kese na achrew. Ti so bi krawo ka che o man penin say o ma create adwuma 1 million and uncle for more than 1 million any juma. 2025 imua o ma penny Miss Adam insayam. Men you need that. Why simpapeni a oke cancer was rona formono. Ubie nim sa asem nya no kre. Me so de opa wo o say bonzo Philip. Ko jan kwa me command circle na fa megaphone na cancer asem we bu ankofo be bu kra nya bini.
No, but are you saying, sir, even when Felix claims, say, quoted from GSS data?
Me see my information minister da. Na say Felix or minister for government communication. Felix me nua pa no me mami krum. Ene ne mami krum ye baako. Ye nyine fi abra se buku amankese me mami krum ene ne district ye baako. Me nua pa no Felix Pachifosu me kodu ba bi na nkofo obo na meje no me nua no. Me nua no. Me catch Minia Felix say, sir, data na Ghana Statistical Service for their brom say inflation do 3.8, nipa 1 million nenye jumane on tungu non si fem. Me na me information minister o. The graph sheet baby, no ma draw line and cost rosro. Now so abejina bontina ki can say nipa 1 million jobs have been created. Si form na hade. And I don't say they are muki catcher on the Akikano. And in Kofo lived experience, the boy bra 100%.
A boy bra.
Who's all kind of mystery?
Yes.
Misro. Oman penny, Minsada Minsayem. Why a 1 year, bay 2 months? Si form. In Nissan Kofo Neti so almost say, and right or parliament from there, they bomb say. Accelerated.
The finance ministry they buy, you know.
Over the crowd parliament. Say accelerated reserve accumulation policy document. You can was about me gold purchase program. No, they buy and no matter be being for.
In that of was a uti and some could drop on Kroma can wahana. Enye easy. Ghana Labor Force almost some reports no.
Thank you for joining me. Today I'm pleased to share the key findings from Ghana's quarterly labor force survey for the first 3 quarters of 2025. As Ghana advances the 24-hour economy program, which is a catalyst for industrialization, export promotion and job creation, we must understand how people actually work, when they work, where they work, and whether those jobs are decent, productive, and sustainable. This report provides that evidence. It helps government, businesses, workers, and households make informed decisions based on facts, not assumptions. Our goal is simple: to track how the labor market is responding to economic change, and eventually how job creation translates into real improvements in people's lives. Let me briefly explain how the data were collected. The quarterly labor force survey is a nationally representative household survey. In 2025, we covered nearly 14,000 households across all 16 regions in both rural and urban areas. Trained field officers visited homes, asked standardized questions, and collected data electronically. In plain language, we asked people whether they worked, what kind of work they did, whether they were looking for work, whether their skills matched their jobs, and whether they were interested in shift or night work. All information is protected by law and used for statistical purposes only. What are the numbers telling us? Let's jump into the key results. More than 15 million people were in the labor force. Between the first and third quarters, employment increased by over 330,000 people. Female employment consistently exceeded male employment, and urban areas recorded higher employment than rural areas.
In that of was a uti per the report by and say everything is clear and evident. Nessa Mahama Mahama cancer ma in fact in Krata no back in kind and which antregum. The question now is, did they do any further search? And I say, Kojo Upon Nkrumah was able to detect these lies because he has worked, or I say he was once working at that position into the way and your massive fako. Instead of forward majile, Mamfa Musia, Namami whose opinion, our comment the more. Yeah, the more updates, more gists about our queen.